Everyone can hear me. Good morning. Welcome to your tribe this morning, and everyone online, just so that everyone knows, and everyone in the room. We'll get started in about 10 minutes. We're going to take a roll call, see who's all online and see who's all in person. Okay, so I was just informed we have 26. We have a quorum, so we're going to get started in about 5 minutes.
The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. Our roots predate the United States and Oklahoma statehood by thousands of years. Our culture and values have carried us through genocide, loss of lands, assimilation, wars, and most recently a global pandemic, and we are still here. Spring is a time of renewal. We're an ancient tribe grateful to celebrate a new day. Positive changes are on the horizon, and we look forward to a bright future together. Take care of each other, teach one another, respect one another. These are Caddo values.
The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma enrich our state. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. We've survived triumph and tragedy, and we're still here. Quahut. My name is Lane Factor, and I am proud to be Caddo.
The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma enrich our state. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. We've survived triumphs and tragedies, and we are still here. Quahut. My name is Lakota Beatty, and I'm proud to be Caddo.
The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. Our roots predate the United States and Oklahoma statehood by thousands of years. Our culture and values have carried us through genocide, loss of lands, wars, and most recently, a global pandemic, and we're still here. Spring is a time of renewal. We're an ancient tribe, grateful to celebrate a new day of positive changes that are on the horizon, and we look forward to a bright future together. Take care of each other, teach one another, respect one another. These are core Caddo values.
The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. Our roots predate the United States and Oklahoma statehood by thousands of years. Our culture and values have carried us through genocide, loss of lands, assimilation, wars, and most recently a global pandemic, and we are still here. Spring is a time of renewal. We're an ancient tribe grateful to celebrate a new day. Positive changes are on the horizon, and we look forward to a bright future together. Take care of each other, teach one another, respect one another. These are Caddo values.
The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma enrich our state. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. We survived triumph and tragedy, and we're still here. Pa'ahut. My name is Lane Factor, and I am proud to be Caddo. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. Our roots predate the United States and Oklahoma statehood by thousands of years. Our culture and values have carried us through genocide, loss of lands, wars, and most recently, a global pandemic, and we're still here. Spring is a time of renewal. We're an ancient tribe grateful to celebrate a new day of positive changes that are on the horizon, and we look forward to a bright future together.
If I can get everyone's attention, if we can all please have a seat, and we're going to get started. All right. I think I speak for hopefully the council this morning, and thank everyone for being here. Thank everyone for being online, and thank you for your time and effort to make an attempt to show up and the care that you have for our tribe. This morning, before we get started, just want to let everybody know that I really appreciate everything that our people's done for us in the past, and our ancestors in our way. You know, it's we're still here, we're still surviving, and we're a tribe. So roll call. I think we have how many online? Okay, all together we have 34. So we have a quorum. So before I pray, I just want to say something, so everybody kind of know a little bit about who. You know, I usually get up here and talk about what we do as a tribe, But this morning, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself so that you'll know who I am. Because some people don't know. My name is Hasineshu. When I was born, they didn't know if I was going to make it. They had a meeting over there in Nasunda, place of the soldier, Francis Williams, Howard Williams, and the old people. I was born, and I used to follow my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, Nora Dunlap, into this teepee when I was a little child. My Enoch, my mother, when she had me, they didn't know if either one of us would make it. She was paralyzed. She didn't know she had me for about a year. I only weighed 2.5 pounds. Some people said that I died. I'm not even supposed to be here. But regardless, God made a way, and I'm here, and I'm glad. So I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate what they've done back there, our old people. And coming through this life, I'm the only child. I'm the only child in my biologically. In this tribe, I'm allowed to wear red because I'm the only child. I used to go around and I used to visit Enoch Hoig, the last grandson of the chief of the tribe. The last grandson, the chief of this tribe, was Jonathan Hoig. He was the oldest grandson. He was a World War II vet. He spent 5 years in World War II, and he was a medic. And he had people cry in his arms for mama when they were dying. And he had to assure them that everything was going to be okay. And he told me stories. And he told me things that if you don't share it with the people, then it's on you. You have to let them know. So I'm going to let everybody know in a good way in here. We come over here in a good way. We come over here out of respect for our ancestors, our culture, and what we do as people. If you can't have respect for yourself and dignity, the things you say outside the nation on a watch list to yank your sovereignty. And the reason they want to yank your sovereignty for all those years is because of all the infighting and all the trauma. Because it's the government. The government seen it as look at it like it's a waste. The government tried to do that with our relatives, the Osage Nation, to yank their sovereignty. They had to form a new government. They had to form a 3-tier government, like a lot of tribes, a Congress, a Senate. Not all power vested in one body. That's what we're trying to do. We're going to talk about the Constitution and all that later. But the reason they did that is because the government had them for it. They said, you don't have land, you don't have language, you don't have culture, you're no longer a tribe. So I just want to thank everyone for being here. That if you come over here and you want to holler around and have crazy kitsy is what we say, don't do that. You want to say something constructive and have something constructive to say, pitch in and help. Our old people used to tell us when you act like that, when you have problems like that, you're not going to have nothing in life. Maybe not even a job, maybe you're sick, maybe something's going to go wrong with your family. That's the way they taught us. That's why they taught us. When you say something, be good to people. Say something nice to them. Don't be mean. Oh, bad. Go up to them, shake their hand, be good to them, offer them some water. Something to say that's righteous. Because the Lord, the Creator, is watching. All that other stuff is purity, demons, and all that stuff. That's the way that our Creator made it. Because we're talking about the tribe. We're talking about tradition. We're talking about culture values. We're talking about how we're raised, not the English way. We're talking about our Caddo. Just so that everyone knows. So we're going to have a good meeting today. And I'm going to say it like my grandmother said it right here. If you come over here and you want to cause problems and drive around out there and come in here and bitch around and you stay at the house, you come over here in a good way, you get shit and you help our people, everything's good enough. With that said, my grandmother said that at 95. She said in a membership meeting, said that to her people. I heard her. So now I'm going to pray
for us. And we're gonna have a good meeting, we're gonna get along, and we're gonna have a good day, because that's the way the Creator made it. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll tell you what, you know, it's, you know, it's talking, one thing, I'm tired, how we made it, oh, it's, time. Dr. Nosi, one thing, I'm tired, okay, look at us now. Take care of us, our children, but now it's upon a time that elders here, once upon a time that wisdom, that they could talk to us how to be a king, how to be a human being, how to be a race. The Lord, the Creator, how you made it up there, when you made it, the great doctor above that you are. Look down upon people, wherever you find them, the ones that are eternal, the ones that are lost, the ones that don't know you. Forgive me for my own sin before I go any further. Take care of my own family. Take care of my children. Take care of all the children, the little children in this life. Take care of people around the world. Look at what's going on. Hopefully, Lord Jesus Christ, we can help change things so that we can have things better in our life, so that this world will get along, have peace, have harmony, have humility, so that we can move on as a nation. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Thank you for our lives. Thank you for all the things that people share with us, so that we can learn to encourage each other, so we can have constructive criticism and understanding. Lord Jesus Christ, I ask you to bless our day, bless our lives, bless all the ones that are far from between here and there, and that's thinking about us today. And those that can't be here, bless those that are incarcerated, those that are in hospitals, those that are in nursing homes, those people that are overseas fighting these wars. My God, you can give peace to this world, you can bring peace to our tribe, you can bring peace to our homes, and you can bring peace to our individual lives. This morning, ask you this in your Son, Christ, with all everything out there, forgive me. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, thank you very much for being here. I have an introduction to the state of the Caddo Nation, which we're going to address for reading. And after that, these are, you should have an agenda. Hopefully you got the agenda online, you got an agenda. We got the vacation done. I think we need to do the reading of the minutes. And then I have an opening remarks of the chair of the state of the Caddo Nation address. We'll talk about the budgets, reports, audits, and constitution. So, has everyone looked at the minutes? Do we have it online, or do you copy in front of you? Oh. If you could take a chance and take a look at the minutes for just a moment. And when you're finished reviewing the minutes, if anyone wants to make a motion, add any corrections, comments, we can take care of that.
Motion's been made to approve the minutes by Christy Chandler. Do I hear a second? P. Wardy, Arnita P. Wardy, just second. the motion? All in favor, say aye. Raise your hand too, so we can see. Okay, and those that oppose, we put your hands down. Oh, we gotta count them. She's not that fast. She's got to, one more time. So we're good? $20, that's the 4 yes, 24. 20 yeses to approve? Okay. Any no's or extensions, or anyone abstain? Raise your hand, or if you can raise your hand in the chat box. All right, minutes have been passed and approved. Thank you very much. I have to take my glasses off. It's not, I have to take my glasses off because I don't need them to read this close, but I can't see anyone out here either, so, it's a good thing, I think. All right, I have a thank you this morning for being here again, and I have an address that I'd like to read. Greetings to all my fellow Caddo people, esteemed elders, respected tribal officials, cherished community members, and our honored guests. As we gather today to reflect on the state of our great nation, we do so with the spirit of unity, respect, and enduring commitment to the betterment of our tribe. The Caddo Nation has a storied history, one of resilience, culture, and richness, and a profound connection to the lands that we have inhabited for generations. It is upon this foundation that we continue to build our future, facing the challenges before us with collective strength and wisdom. As we embark on this important dialogue about the state of our nation, it is imperative that we do so in a manner that upholds dignity and integrity of our tribal community. Our decisions, which will sometimes, with passionate and deeply personal, must be conducted with the utmost respect for all individuals involved. We are a nation bound by common values, and among these, the principles of respect stands paramount. The Caddo Nation has always been a place where voices can be heard, where concerns can be raised, and where constructive debate can be welcomed. However, as we engage in these necessary conversations, let us be mindful of the language we use in the manner in which we present our viewpoints. Slanderous comments aimed at our tribal officials, staff, or fellow members serve only to sow discord and undermine the unity that is essential to our progress. Let us remember that every member of our staff and every official serves our community with dedication and deserves our gratitude, even when their decisions or actions are subject to question or critique. It is entirely possible to disagree without being disagreeable, to question without quarreling, and to afford and offer criticism without casting aspersions. To this end, I urge each of you to approach today's discourse with an open heart and a commitment to constructive engagement. Let us set an example here, right here, among the Caddo Nation, because this stuff what we're talking about goes on throughout the country, among other tribes and on reservations. I urge you again to approach today's discourse with an open heart. Let us set an example on how our community can tackle difficult issues with grace. In doing so, we honor the legacy of our ancestors and lay the groundwork for a thriving, harmonious Caddo nation for generations to come. Thank you, and let us move forward together in a spirit of respect, collaboration, and shared purpose. Thank you for being here. This meeting is open. Our budgets are online. A long time ago, the United States government used to give the Caddos and other tribes $2 or $3 million. They'd create a budget, they'd bring it to the membership, and the membership would talk about that budget. Today, that does not work that way. They're in 638 contracts. All the contracts and the reports and budgets are online. They've been online. We continue to put them online. Other than account numbers, we pretty much have, there's so much there, it's pretty incredible. That's where you'll find all the budgets and all the numbers in those reports. Also, we've been working on our audits, which all our 638 programs, the United States government, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Indian Child Welfare, Job Placement and Training, Social Service, Higher Ed, Adult Ed. I don't know if I said transportation. What programs we could contract out from the Bureau, from the agency here, we have done. Those audits have been reviewed, and we have been informed in writing by the United States Department of Interior that our audits are great. We should be commended. We should also be teaching how to do this with other tribes, and they were very, very impressed with our staff. They provided letters acknowledging each of those departments in writing from the United States Department of Interior. Other things that we're working on is all the audits related to all the other dollars that we bring in. 99.9% of the dollars that we go after are all federal to provide programs and services for our people. It's all related to regulation, law, and we don't make the law that governs that. They basically say if you want to take care of housing or whatever it is, you have to follow all these rules. Sometimes that doesn't help any of us because we don't fit in, so we don't qualify, I guess, in some of those things. But just so that everyone knows, we're doing everything in the world that we can to make sure that all our audits and everything is top notch, because we can't move forward without making sure the audits and the numbers and the regulations and the law is taken care of. Because when that happens, you lose your programs and basically you won't have anything to operate with, because 99.9% of what we operate with is federal. And also, Constitution. Well, I was hoping, I don't know if Todd Goodman's on staff, online. Todd, are you out there? Is he on there? You see? Okay. So last meeting, we talked about, providing an update related to the Constitution. I don't think that that's worked out very well with the individual that we allow to help us. We're trying to do everything we can to collect that information. Hopefully he'll show up or provide that. However, we're going to move forward as a tribe, and the council, and what we're going to do is be meeting with the members. I'm going to be setting it up to where we can have dialogue with our members in our district, as well as all districts, as well as outside the districts, because it's important. A lot of people feel like their services aren't being provided, or if you don't live right here, you just get overlooked. And that's not true. We need to change that. It's related to how the regulations allow us to use those dollars related to those programs or whatever your needs are, because they have jurisdictional boundaries and that type of stuff. So with all that said, we have a meal that we'll have today. If anyone needs anything, let us know. I'm glad you're here. If you want to take a break, and have some water. There's some water here. I want to thank the council for being here. And I also want to thank our, where's he at? Is Travis here? Thrillkill? He must have left. Travis, are you here? I think there's a whole team of people outside planting, gardening, and having all kind of cool things out there in their shirts and sweaters too, I think. However, they're going to get a hold of him, but I really wanted to have him come in here and thank him for all the work that he's done for the tribe. He had stepped down here recently as the Binger representative to fulfill a position as a senior administrator here. And we'll thank him in a minute when he comes in. And I want to introduce the new Binger representative for the Caddo Nation that was sworn in. Braden, Steve, and Noah, if you can raise your hand. We're glad to have him. Welcome him on board. He'll finish out the term until 2025, the next election, regardless of who runs or who wins. He's going to finish out the term for Mr. Travis Thrillkill. And we really appreciate you being here, volunteering, and being able to help. And all the knowledge that you have related to all your experience in building infrastructure and projects and understanding engineering and all that is going to be valuable to the nation as we move forward in planning the tribe and the future of the tribe. Yeah. Here you go. If you want to say hi.
Hello, everybody. I'm Stephen Noah. You can call me Braden. And I'm just really excited for the opportunity to be on the council, and hopefully I can do a good job. My dad's name is Brad Noah. My mother was Christine Noah. She was a member of the Caddo tribe, and she's no longer with us. And that's it.
Thank you, Brady. Okay, so we're rerunning that video on that online. What's that? Yeah, just for a second. Is that the one we started with? We're gonna watch it one more time, and because I'd like everyone in the room to see that, and then we're gonna watch one more little video, and we're gonna turn it over to the floor, and we're gonna have a great day, and we'll take any questions. You want to hit that light over there, sir? You want to hit that light over there? That way we can see.
The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma enrich our state. The Caddo Nation is one of 2 federally recognized tribes indigenous to
Okay, we'll back
Oklahoma.
that one up too.
We've survived
The
triumphs
next
and
thing we're going to
tragedies, and
show
we are
is
still
we're really
here.
proud of the fact that
Aloha,
we have an
my name is
NBA
Lakota
player in New
Beatty, and I'm proud
Zealand.
to be Caddo.
Her name is Lakota Beatty. She had actually asked us to help. We were glad to help her. She wrote a tremendous letter to the tribe and to the
The Caddo
council.
Nation is one of two federally
She wanted
recognized
like
tribes
food money
indigenous
for
to Oklahoma.
donuts or coffee.
Our roots
or
predate the
room.
United States
We're
and
like,
Oklahoma
sure.
statehood by
We're
thousands
very,
of
very
years.
proud of her.
Our culture and
And
values
so,
have carried us through
she made the
genocide,
NBA team
loss
in
of
New
lands,
Zealand.
wars,
So if
and most
everybody can give her a
recently,
round of
global
applause.
pandemic. And we're still here.
The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma enrich our state. The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma enrich our state. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous
What we're
to
going to
Oklahoma.
do is
The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma enrich our state. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. We've survived triumphs and tragedies, and we are still here. Koahat, my name is Lakota Beatty, and I'm proud to be Caddo. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. Our roots predate the United States and Oklahoma statehood by thousands of years. Our culture and values have carried us through genocide, loss of lands, assimilation, wars, and most recently a global pandemic, and we are still here. Spring is a time of renewal. We're an ancient tribe grateful to celebrate a new day. Positive changes are on the horizon, and we look forward to a bright future together. Take care of each other, teach one another, respect one another. These are Caddo values.
The vibrant and diverse tribes in Oklahoma
Here's
enrich
the
our
trouble.
state. The Caddo Nation is one of two federally recognized tribes indigenous to Oklahoma. We survived triumph and tragedy, and we're still here. Quahat, my name is Lane Factor, and I am proud to be Caddo.
We're glad to have Wayne do that. So, you know, he hadn't charged us. We're really glad for that. And so we really appreciate these young people helping us out. We're just so thankful for them. But again, we're going to be running those commercials throughout the year, you know, related to the community. And also, you'll find on your table the Caddo Nation Resiliency Plan. And it's really, really self-explanatory, and it's to tie all the programs and the government and the tribe together as we move forward in writing. And there will be community meetings
The vibrant
as well.
and diverse tribes in Oklahoma.
That is pretty extensive work. The Maryland Cargill Foundation, nonprofit foundation, had provided $100,000 to Mass Design, who's architecting and designed our child care and community center, and at no cost to the tribe, putting this together for us so the future of the tribe can move forward with the tribe, with its programs, with the council, and with you in the community. Also, you're going to see probably really soon, hopefully, you're going to see it online. I don't know what's going on. How's it now? Good? All right. I don't know how long the newsletter is, but I've seen it quite extensive. And so you'll have that as well. We're going to be mailing that out to all the members. It'll be online, and hopefully it'll walk in the door here in a little bit, but it's just real exciting. So you have the news, you'll have newsletter, it'll be on the website. You have a resiliency plan that ties in the community as we move the tribe forward. We're related to a plan and strategy that involves the community, our programs, the tribal government. And you also have the budgets within all the reports. Some reports that may not be on there is just because of audit purposes, or they, you know, just trying to deal with the agencies and making sure that we got all that stuff done. Okay. So with that, I'm going to start here. And Fort Cobb representative, I'm going to hand her the microphone. She'd like to say something, and then we're going to pass it down and let them say something on related to the district, related to their role in trouble.
Hello, for those who don't know me, my name is Kay O'Neill, and I am the Fort Cobb representative, as Bobby just said. And I will all here and those that are here, what an honor it is to serve you. And I just wanted, maybe just a quick update. The Caddo Nation have been working together to build better roads for the schools and the community. And they've really done some wonderful, wonderful work in Fort Cobb and in Gracemont. And we have approached Fort Cobb Council, Anyway, we've approached the council about perhaps being able to adopt Fort Cobb and build better roads there for our school and for our community. There's just so many things going on. I've been working with Caddo Mounds as a liaison, and on May the 20th, I believe it is May the 20th, that they're having a grand opening day for the museum, and all are welcome and encouraged to come if you can make it. Bring your families, and let's be together on our ancestral homeland. This is our land, and we are a part of it. It's not the state of Texas's land. Now, this is coming from a Texan, okay? Well, a transplanted Texan, but that is our homeland, and it is our right and our honor to be a part of that. And I just wanted to say thank you again. I appreciate each and every one of you.
Hello, my name is Verna Whitebead Castillo. I live at Binger, and I also work at the Caddo Housing. And I am just happy to be here and happy to see everyone here. Y'all smile. But we do have programs through Caddo Housing, and we try to help each and every one that comes through. We try, but we have guidelines to go by. So if anyone needs help, or, we'll try to help you. So, and I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you.
Quiet. I'm glad to see everyone here at the membership meeting. My name is Jennifer Wilson, and I'm the Oklahoma City representative for the Caddo Nation. And so proud to be on the council. And at this time, I know Bobby's working hard to find in Oklahoma City a satellite office for us, so the Oklahoma City people don't have to come all the way down here. And so we will, I know he's working hard on that, so I hope we can get that soon. So I'm just glad that you guys came out today, and we welcome you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Martin, and I am the Anadarko District Representative. Our council has been moving very quickly, and I hope that everybody sees and knows that we are working very hard. I know sometimes it's easy to complain and find the faults. It's easier to find the faults than it is see the light side of things, but we as a Caddo Council, we have big hearts for our people. We want the best for everybody, and we are trying really hard. If anybody has any problems, bring them to the council. Maybe if you have solutions, would be even better. I'm just glad to see all these people here, and keep blessing each other. Thank you.
I'm Stephen Braden Noah. I'm the Binger representative, and if you ever have any problems, you can come to me. I'll give you my number, and you can meet up with me whenever, wherever. And I'm just really happy to be on the council, and I'd like to thank Bobby for giving me this opportunity. And that's about it. And thanks for showing up.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Reeder. I'm the secretary. I come from the Reeder, Wolf, Parton, and Wilson families. So I want to echo a lot of what Tracy said. We're here, we put in a lot of hours. I know that's what we signed up for, and we do appreciate input. I don't want anyone to feel like we're saying, we're not going to listen, if you, just don't come to us with anything. It's more the opposite. I mean, we appreciate your input. We don't see what goes on in the community a lot. A lot of us live in the city or in different places, and we kind of have to hear about it on social media or, we get phone calls. So, I mean, we do appreciate your input, and we want you to keep doing it, the good, bad, ugly, that doesn't, we'll address it, we'll address it when we can. And, and as secretary, I put my number out on social media. I put it on I have a Facebook page. I'll give you my number if anyone wants my cell phone number, my tribal number. And if you need anything, just give me a call and I'll try to address what I can. There's some things that I can't because it's like covered by executive session or personnel issues, but if it's something I can tell you, I will let you know. I'll tell you whatever I can. I'll give you whatever, direct you to any documents or any directors that you need to speak with. But yeah, just keep the input coming, good, bad, or ugly.
I meant to say everything that she said. It just didn't come out right.
Oh, and thank you for being here, everyone.
Yeah, it's great. So all your members that live in the Bangor area, if you have anything you want to say, if you have complaints, gripes, great stuff, encouragement, ideas, he's your Bangor rep. Go talk to him, visit with him. That's what he's there for. Fort Cobb, that's what she's there for. If you live in Fort Cobb, ask your Fort Cobb rep, okay? Yeah, you won't hurt her feelings. Let her, if you have questions for Oklahoma City rep, let her know. They're supposed to be meeting with you and you're supposed to be meeting with them. That way, when we get to this point over here, we're all on the same page. So same way with Kay, Fort Cobb rep. If you need anything from Kay, I appreciate everyone being here again. And Verna, thank you as well. Okay, one more thing I want to read though. And unfortunately, just so that everyone knows, I mentioned the Constitution earlier. Todd Goodman had some family issues going on that affected his ability to complete the Caddo Constitution, draft, because that's to be brought to the people, and the people is going to weigh in on it. It's a living document for the people, with the people. So with that said, his contract actually ended in February. I did talk to him. He is going to turn over his findings this month, and the tribe will take other priorities along with the project and assign it to, like a committee or another person, and we're going to continue on. So just so that everybody knows. All right, we're going to open it up, and if you have any questions or concerns, I'm going to give you the mic. You have 2 minutes. The reason we're doing that is we have other people online. With respect for their time and being online, we want to make sure we're not trying to say we're not wanting to listen to you. We have to make time for everyone, and we can't let just one person hold the mic, and we can't just let 1 or 2 people control the meeting. So just so that everyone knows. I'm glad to see you. Last time I see this young lady, she was in a wheelchair, and we've been praying for her. We're going to continue to pray for her. And you come walking in here with that walker. That is the grace of God and Jesus Christ that we have. Thank you for being here.
Everything I've got. So I really do appreciate everyone's love and concern for me. It's been a journey, but you know what? It's opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I figured out the people that really do care about you, and the people that pretend they don't. And it's a great thing. I mean, it's a hard thing to learn, but it's a great thing to learn. And I really appreciate everyone that's been there for me through every single step. and just even good words, thoughts, prayers, just your love. It's been wonderful, and it has helped me get through a really hard time in my life of being just now 30, and I've been in a wheelchair for about a year, and this is my 3rd day on the walker. So, woo! But thank you.
That's great. Okay, so with respect to our elders, I don't want to say who's older than the other because I don't want them to beat me up. I know better than you. But anyway, we have some elderly men in here, and we have some elderly women folk with us today. If you would like to say something, good, bad, indifferent, shoot me out, I'm used to it. Whatever you want to say, it's all good. I'll bring you the microphone. All right, we got Gail. We already know your family history. We're good to go, Gail.
I would like to know what has been done about this recycling. And I would like to know what has been done about the Indian Health Service customer service that was brought up last meeting. I would like to know about the transportation that was requested for people who didn't have cars and didn't drive. I would like to know about the environmental department, and I would like to know why the name of McKee's has not been changed to the Caddo Tribal to give us a little tooting of our own horn. And that's a sore spot with me. I would like to have an update that Michaela Meeks wanted to know about the fighter program. I would like to know what has been done with our involvement in the private sector. I understand what Bobby was just saying a while ago about most of our programs are with 638 federal programs. That's wonderful, that's good, they do, but they're not money makers. I would like to know what we are doing toward the venturing into the private sector and making a little money for our tribe. And I would like to know, I guess I'd like to know a lot of things. I guess what I want to know is, was our bigger representative appointed? And what authority was that? And then we have other committees and we have other positions like the hearing board and the election board. I would like to hear from them, and I would like to hear a report on the election and some times and some dates. And I would like to know why, if we can appoint people for these vacant positions, why can't we appoint somebody for the hearing board? Okay.
Got that? Oh, okay. So that was more than 2 minutes. However, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah. I understand that. I understand that. Well, I actually wouldn't. Well, you asked a lot of questions, and there's a lot to that. Okay. And you think I can stand up here and just ask you questions, answer those questions. But with due respect for your mother, because I was always with her, if you want to talk like that, I'm not going to put up with it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to answer your questions though. The transportation department has about $9.8 million that they went after. We hired a lady out of Pittleton, Oregon to work in transportation, to look at transportation so that we can start moving people from place to place. A transit program out of Dallas. It's all federal funds like Kiowa Transit System. We're finally getting there. And I've been talking to the Kiowas, and I told them that actually, she's my aunt too. So the gal wants us to have the same kind of thing. And if y'all don't get this done, I might get beat up by the end of the day. And we're having a great time. And I learned a lot about the Kiowa Transit System and other tribes being over there. The environmental department, they've been doing all sorts of stuff. I really don't know what to say to you, Gail, because everything that we have is in reports online. All the things that you want to know, I will personally give you those reports and print them if you want them, and then you can look at them. And right. 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 So one of the reasons that we're having a newsletter related to everything that you just said is in that newsletter. It's going to be sent directly to your house. All the reports in writing and the questions that you ask, you can come up here to the Hill, we'll give them to you. Okay? That's not a problem. We'll print them out. We'll hand them to you. That way you can read them at your leisure. So, Francis?
That directors be at these meetings to answer questions.
Right. So it was just brought up too that Francis said that at one time it was mandatory for directors to be here to answer questions. Well, we had all the directors here and we had a great time. The next membership meeting, we'll have all the directors here. And so you can meet with them directly in all the reports. This quarter has been nothing but audits. And we've been so busy, right? And so we're trying to make sure that we're in compliance with everything. So all our directors here, Travis, we want them here at the next meeting, and that's mandatory, just like Francis said. And we want to do that periodically, right? But there's no policy that talks about that. We probably need to, think about that, right? Yeah, they're going to set up tables and booths and do all that stuff, right? So we'll have a great time at that. We have someone with us named Zach Keelan, and he's a tribal member, and he's also the vice president of the Economic Development Authority for the Caddo Nation, and he's also a federal Indian lawyer that has his own law practice, and he's a trial lawyer. And he's argued 9th and 10th Circuit court cases in federal court in Washington, D.C., and he's who's who an attorney in the United States in federal Indian law. And he's a member of our tribe, Keelan. And I'm going to hand him the microphone. I'd like for you to talk about what we're doing economically and where we're headed in that regard. You can stand up however you want to do it. Thank you for coming all the way from Albuquerque to be with us.
Hello, everyone. Appreciate the time and everything that everyone's doing to help move things forward. So the Caddo Nation Economic Development Authority was created by the council at the end of 2023 the end of 2023 the end of 2022. It functions sort of like a holding company, like an umbrella. And then underneath it is set up to create subsidiaries and that function somewhat like a state limited liability company. And there's 3 subsidiaries that have been created. The first and really the star of it is Arrowwood Construction. So Arrowwood Construction was developed to build the child care center and also to facilitate the development of roads. Like for example, Arrowwood was awarded, right now Arrowwood has done the remodels for the stores, they're building the child care center, they're redeveloping Cummings Road, which is the road that goes out to the child care center. They're building on additional projects. They were in submittal. We just helped apply for a new housing grant. The tribe hasn't built new housing units, is my understanding, since the 1970s. Actually, yesterday we applied for HUD grant, an Indian Housing Block Grant, to refurbish Half Moon units, to build 2 units on vacant lands in Anadarko that the housing department had acquired previously. They also, it'll allow us to refurbish 2 existing homes that are in the inventory of the housing department as well. We think under the current waiting list that if we were to be able to obtain the grant, which was done with the help of Baker Tilly, which is a consulting firm that does a lot of grant work for tribes across Indian country, we've applied for $3 million for that to sort of step up the housing inventory, rehab what we have. And also part of it is to actually buy the plans for housing to use on other development projects. In other words, Mass Design they've done housing projects all over Indian country. They were the American Institute of Architects Architecture Firm of the Year, I think 2 years ago. And they have a native sustainability program. They're the folks that got the money to do the resiliency plan for the tribe. And they're also, they're the architects for the child care center. And then they have helped us with that grant proposal as well to do the housing stuff. The other subsidiaries are, and then Arrowwood is also in the process of getting 8A certified. So for those of you who aren't familiar with that, 8A is a federal contracting program administered through the Small Business Administration that allows for sole source contracting with the federal government. So we have a chief operations officer. Her name is Roberta Carson Carver. She came down from Pendleton, Oregon. She came up in 8A federal contracting. She's owned several of her own businesses. She is helping navigate that process to get Arrowwood 8A certified so that we can do business directly with the federal government. We're also in the process of applying for putting out bids for the development of some bridges that the BIA has asked us to bid out. And we're also in the process of looking at other business development opportunities. So one of the ideas has always been and this is why Arrowwood is such a good example of this, is the idea is how many times can you turn over a dollar within the tribe? So for the child care center, by way of example, we have a grant and we thought, why wouldn't we just build the child care center ourselves? And that's why we started Arrowwood. So it's the same with the roads. We have road funding every year to prioritize roads within the tribal jurisdiction and within Caddo County. It's the same idea. Why not build those roads ourselves so we can turn those dollars over within the tribe and create economic opportunities for the tribal membership. We had to start Arrowwood very lean because it was a brand new enterprise. And so, most of the work is being done through subcontracting right now, but the firm will still get a portion of the profits or the margins that are built into, the construction industry. So that's Arrowwood. It's really the star of that business strategy. I think the future looks very bright for it as well. We've also been doing a lot of work on energy development. We sit on the Anadarko Basin, which is one of the largest natural gas reserves in the world. The fact that the tribe is not economically successful based on our geography, is a function of allotment and a function of the way that land has been taken from the tribe. We are very interested in in looking at developing a tribal utility authority. We have sought a grant from the Department of Interior to do a feasibility study on developing a tribal utility authority to generate our own power, to both do things from everything from powering the child care center to a development on I-40 to, to lowering the costs of energy for tribal members that, for example, live in Anadarko. So as many of you probably know, people in Anadarko pay an exorbitant amount in energy costs because of the way that it's sold. The city buys the power and then sells it back to the constituents. So we have applied for a grant it's called the Division of Indian Energy Minerals Development. It's part of the Department of Interior to look at do a feasibility study essentially for creating a tribal utility authority. And we think that there's a lot of potential for that. The other thing that we have been exploring, which is very new, it hasn't been done in Indian country, is creating what's called an opportunity zone fund. Opportunity zones are census designated tracts that have been designated by the federal government, and it allows investors to defer capital gains for 10 years by placing investments in properties that are within those zones or in businesses that are within those zones. Essentially from Anadarko to the WCD lands happens to be a federal opportunity zone. And so it's a potential capital stack that the tribe could use to really do some development. Additionally, we've been exploring preliminarily the deployment of our tribal economic development bonds. The tribe all tribes have, although they're rarely used, the opportunity to deploy tribal economic development bonds. And to do it, to make it work, you have to have meaningful projects, or else people obviously are not going to buy the bonds. You have to have bond issuers, large investment banks and that sort of stuff to do that. But it's something that we're preliminary exploring that would go in conjunction with the development on either I-40 or a tribal utility authority, or also, the tribe has purchased a small industrial tract in Anadarko to do potentially manufacturing that has access to railroad. And we're trying to put all of those things together. The other subsidiaries, we created a clean energy power subsidiary to really position the tribe in the transitional economy and the decarbonization, because there's so much money available in Indian country right now for things like solar projects, wind projects, community solar projects, all that sort of stuff. And so we're looking at all of those opportunities as well. And then there's a services corporation called Caddo Industries Enterprise. And the idea of that is to basically sell widgets to the federal government. I mean, again, using the 8A program to get sole source contracts from federal agencies and federal programs to sell all sorts of equipment, supplies, and that sort of stuff. We essentially have the capacity to sell anything like furniture and all that sort of anything you'd see on a major GSA contract, the tribe. So the Arrowwood and the industries the Caddo Industries Enterprise are seeking 8A certification from the Small Business Administration. In the process of doing that. And we're really hopeful that Arrowwood would get it because it has a track record with all of the projects that it has under its belt already. And then we're hopeful for also the enterprise one as well, or the industries one as well. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has. Canada has not taken under its umbrella the stores. That's been separate. So that part of the economic development strategy of the tribal council has been separate from the economic development authority. So I'm happy to answer any questions. So it's a subsidiary. I don't want to be, the tribe ultimately owns it. So the Caddo Nation created through statute, the Caddo Nation Economic Development Authority at the end of 2022. And then the tribe and also created these subsidiaries, they passed law to create these subsidiaries. Just like if you were to incorporate a company in the state of Oklahoma, there's a statute, like there's, corporations are legal fictions, and they're created by statute. The tribe has the authority to do the same thing. I don't know what you mean. No? Well, if you mean us as in Canada or the subsidiaries, no. Not that I'm aware of. Arrowwood has not been subject to litigation that I'm aware of. No. Yeah. Did you have something in mind that you were concerned about? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not aware of it. Arrowwood, another remarkable story about Arrowwood is for the Cummings Road project, we had to get like a $3.4 million bond to be able to do that work, a performance bond, and we were able to put that together. So in a year, Arrowwood has really done a lot. Sure, there's 3 of them. You ready? Okay, it's the it's Arrowwood Kakina Enterprise, which is the construction company. There is Caddo, or it's Clean Energy Power is the energy company that was created, and it's Clean Energy Power, CEP. That's one of the other subsidiaries. We don't have a limited liability company statute, so we can't, under tribal law, create we could if there was a statute, but there's not. So they function like an LLC, meaning that they're member managed, and I don't mean member as in tribal membership. I mean the owners of the company manage it. Yes. Yep. No, the third one is Caddo Industries Enterprises and Arrowwood. Yeah. Yep. Those 3. Yep. So, I mean, does anyone have any questions? Happy to answer them. So, and the other way that it's functioning to keep everything very lean is Canada signed a shared services agreement with the tribe to provide sort of all that administrative stuff. So finances running through the tribe, for example, HR, IT, all of that sort of stuff until the subsidiaries can sort of get off of the ground and post those things themselves. So
we have a question from the chat. So for Corey, it says, what are the thoughts or what exactly would be implemented through the opportunity zone there within Anadarko/WCD area?
So everything is in a planning phase. We haven't identified concrete projects or assets to potentially purchase within the opportunity zone. Right now, it's very much an idea. It has not been done extensively in Indian country, and so to draw in investment, there has to be very meaningful projects or assets within those zones. So some of the ideas at this point include just staying within developing an energy portfolio because of the geographical area that we're in, trying to use the industrial track in some meaningful way that to be able to manufacture something most likely that we could fit into an 8A program to sell partly to the federal government. And it could be one of several capital stacks that we might be able to access for that type of development. So there are no concrete plans right now for the opportunity zone idea, and it's just being explored.
Okay, and there's a couple, you may have answered some of this one, but here's a two-part question. So is Arrowwood a wide variety of subsidiaries that was created by the Caddo Nation? And who manages Arrowwood? I think you may have just answered that. Who manages Arrowwood and the different subsidiaries? I think you just answered that.
Yeah, so
Subsidiary.
Canada has a COO, a Chief Operating Officer, that is Roberta Carver Carson. And then this Roberta Carver Carson. And then the subsidiaries right now, there's a project there's project managers. It's very lean. And I think Arrowwood has 5 employees right now, all of which are focused on the child care center at this point. It's Carver Carson. Carver Carson. Carver. It's Carver, like I'm gonna carve something. Yeah. I think that's right. She's the Chief Operations Officer for Canada. Yeah.
All right. So Zach, I really appreciate you talking. Just so that everyone knows, that's about a $10.5 million build right now in Hinton, Oklahoma on I-40 it's beautiful. You don't get it. We want to take a tour out there when we're able. Maybe we can get a bus and transit and take anybody who wants to go like on a tour to see what we're constructing. That would be great. And I think we can work on that. Right now, we'll have to work with the team because of OSHA or just safety, but right now they're constructing. The road that leads into the facility is $3.4 million. That was signed off on by the district attorney of in Caddo County and 3 commissioners with the Caddo.
I don't really feel like that is necessary. He always adds so much junk.
Ourselves, Arrowwood is building it. It's 100% owned by the Caddo Nation. And, I'm going to bring the microphone over here because we have a question on the floor. And then we can take more questions online too. So we also have about 1.2 million from the Department of Homeland Security, and we're going to build a fusion center, a fire station. Remember, we got our jurisdiction. We got the plans from the Pawpaw. We finally got the resources. We're looking for a fire chief. So we're just, a lot of what you'll see too is in the newsletter. So here you go.
Hi, Tracy Compton. I just have 2 quick questions. The first one is, when is the next scheduled election? And the second one is, what are we doing about multiple reps for the OKC area or our at-large members?
So according to the Constitution of the Caddo Nation, that's what I'm going to address. It's a 4-year term. Okay. We're on a legal hook. At the Constitution, it's a 4-year term. The next election is in 2025. That is for the chairman spot. I believe, who else is the secretary? No, Oklahoma City rep, treasurer, and Binger rep, 4 positions. We encourage you to run. If you feel like we're not doing the right thing, if you can do better, or if you think that you want to pitch in and serve, please do so. Please do so. Because one of these days, I may not be here, and the folks here, we're trying to, well, let's put it this way. One of these days, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to walk out that door, and that'd be that. We want to be able to put the tribe and have a solid foundation. So with that said, in the middle of May, we're going to be meeting with the election board. to come up with a budget, provide the tools that they need because they need space, room. We have to refill that board so that if you know anyone that would like to be on that board, after the election board meets with us next month, then they'll come back to the membership, the next quarter, and then we'll talk about all that. Right now, because we don't have enough people that runs for these boards, I'll give you an example. Eric Travis Guy ran for the hearing board. He was the only one. That does not constitute a hearing board. That's an individual that just happens to be an elected process, but it's defunct because no one else ran. So the Indian Court of Defenses through CFR has a law there. Any disputes among the tribe, anything like election board, hearing board, the council, myself, any of our staff, any of our directors, if you don't agree with them and you can't get recourse with us and get the answers from us and you feel like you're not being heard, you can go to the BIA and you can have your day right there and you can have your day, right? So that's why we did that. And what was the other question? Having more in Oklahoma City? Is that what you're talking about? We could do that. Right, and there might be something that we see what Todd put together, right, for that. But at any time, the tribe and the members, we need to look at the Constitution, can expand, right? So, and we know that outside of Oklahoma, right, like Texas, California, the East Coast, and the North, we have people all over, and they need to be represented. So we're going to get all that in the next quarter. We'll hash it all out. And the election board is going to be here. I was thinking they was going to be here today, but they've been pretty busy too. Any more questions? Okay, we have Amy. I really am glad to see you because we're working with the Department of Energy Resources in Denver on $2 million to cap orphan wells and Caddo tracts. And I want to say one more thing about the Economic Development Authority of the Caddo Nation, CNADA. We have exceptional business people that are very successful that are on this committee. Not one time have they been compensated for their time. Not one time have I been compensated for helping putting it together with that committee. So I'm doing multiple different things. And we're doing it because we care and we want to get things done. With that said, the Economic Development Authority of the Caddo Nation signed an agreement. Their first agreement with the Treasury Department of the United States of America. The Economic Development Board signed an agreement with the government.
Don't pee on yourself.
The lady that has her name on your money. They provided us $3 million. Took us a year and a half to get it done. It's called SSBCI. It's like a loan program. Our Economic Development Board can loan dollars to the subsidiaries we create or other business ventures that we would like to endeavor in if we can show that we can have a really good profit. Basically, the government says, here's $3 million to the Economic Development Authority. It's an agreement. It's not a contract. It's not a grant. It's a contract. So our Economic Development Authority has value by having that agreement with the Treasury Department. It allows that $3 million to be provided to subsidiaries we create or businesses we want to go into. But if we give $1, we got to get 9 back. That's the formula the government put in place. So we're really excited. But it also now gives us credibility to ask for bonds for about 1.8 billion per tribe. And there's around 600 billion out there for tribes to go after. Because if you can bond your projects, you can attract business and you can build. So I just wanted to mention that before I forget. And
I just had a question. You were talking about building roads. I used to work for TxDOT in the bicycle and pedestrian safety program, and also for the city of Austin in their sidewalk building program. And I was wondering if you guys have any interest in building sidewalks along with the roads, just for, or if you guys are doing, yeah, for safety.
Okay, she just mentioned housing. It's in here in this newsletter, I think. Transportation, no? Is it housing? No, can you find Caddo Nation Housing Authority? Here you go. I want to mention what she said. You can find it in here. This newsletter will be shipped to your house anywhere you live in the country. We're glad to see this today. So currently, and I want you to know the Caddo Nation Transportation Department put new speed bumps and signs to slow traffic down and to keep tenants and children safe there at Half Moon Circle. That's all with federal funds. And we got a safety grant from Federal Highways for $500,000.
I turned the heat on. I finally figured that out.
You'd like to meet with them, as they grow their board, because we're right now really deep in with transportation programs. And so the other thing, I think you would really be happy to know when you read this, since I'm on it, applied for an application.
The pictures.
And it was successfully submitted to the Department of Energy, DOE, Office of State and Community Energy Program for $14,000 per eligible household.
I love it, don't you? It would match my red.
Energy efficiency and electrification and appliance rebate program. Inflation IRA, regardless of where you live in the United States. 225 million up for grabs. We applied for that. And we're hoping we get a big chunk of that. If we get that, that means that we're going to be able to provide $14,000 to head of household anywhere in the country, as long as you're eligible, to help you reduce energy costs to you that impacts your pocket, and also to provide those rebates and to related to the appliances you use. This is just a government program, so I didn't want to mention that since I seen that. But yes. Yes. Also, Zach, you want to talk a little bit about the solar panel stuff? Okay. All right. Since you came all the way.
So, one of the nice things about having Caddo is like the program that Chairman just mentioned. We've been able to keep an eye on basically creating like a funding matrix, which is also part of this resiliency plan, to really look at various opportunities to impact people's lives. That's one of them that we had to submit. There's an allocation for each tribe, and we have to apply for it, and we've submitted the necessary paperwork to start that process of getting our allocation. So it's a rebate program, and people will be able to buy appliances and that sort of thing. On solar, there's a lot of, we have been investigating, putting solar here, as well as on the child care center. We had worked with a company out of Oklahoma City. They did the architectural planning for solar installation on the new housing developments that we're trying to get through that HUD grant as well. And we're also in the process of to put it on the actual units. And then we're also in the process of going through the Division of Energy Mineral Development. They have a grant to look at actually creating community scale solar as well. So those are some of the things that are happening. And again, it's just an example of there's a lot of money out and available in Indian country, and the tribe has historically not had the capacity to be aware of a lot of the funding opportunities and then apply for them as well. So there is a solar program that would potentially could be available to individuals to put solar on their homes. My understanding is there was a number of them. There were supposed to be, they wanted tribes to form a consortium to really do a large deployment of that. And I don't think that tribes in Oklahoma that I'm aware of, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm not aware that there was a consortium of tribes that put that program together. So the specific one that Chairman was talking about is a rebate program for appliances, for energy saving appliances, refrigerators, all that sort of stuff. And that's a rebate program with an allocation to the tribe, and Caddo helped facilitate applying for that so folks could enjoy that program if we're able to get it. It's anywhere. Yeah, it's tribal members all over. And the idea hopefully is that we would sell the appliances too, so that we get the rebate money, but the tribe would actually sell the appliances to make, you know, a little money on it. Caddo, it's a acronym for Caddo Nation Economic Development Authority.
Yeah, that's the acronym.
Yes. So myself, my name is Zachary.
It's also in the bios on our website and the newsletter. Yeah, it's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there. So yeah, it's under economic development. Anything you want to know about economic development, go with that icon. And Zach, I appreciate it. And before he leaves, I got something to say. We have Travis Thrillkill here. Come on out, Travis. Come on out here. Could you guys give him a hand? We want to thank Travis again for being on the council. He's done a great job. He's managed 6 state parks with the state governor. Just so that everyone knows in this room, there was a litigation, I believe, here in Oklahoma where the governor of the state of Oklahoma actually lost all these court cases related to compacts for tribes. And so all our compacts were held up in the state of Oklahoma. And we were one of the 11 tribes that signed a tobacco compact the other day in the council with the governor of the state of Oklahoma. We have made some headroads with the governor. I have a meeting with him next week in his office on Tuesday at 1:30 to talk about the future of his office, our office, and we all know that we still have issues related to the tag issue. That bill, House Bill 1158, and those laws that recognize Indian country as Indian country, we are going to stand with that until the state changes it, not if the governor tries to change it. But we have mutual interests and concerns, and we're going to meet. And so before this young man leaves, we want to thank you, Travis, for being on the council, putting up with us, all the stuff late nights, you know, all the stuff we have to go through. And, you know, you coming on board, being here since you was Hope to be a little boy, you know, growing up. God bless you for that. I'm going to have you the microphone if you want to say anything. There was a great transition too that took place between the Binger representative and our new representative, and they had met. Someone had mentioned, you know, how did that happen? We had several individuals wanting help. Some of them live close to the jurisdiction, out of the jurisdiction. You know, we vetted those. There were some choices the council had. I'd met with some individuals, and that's how Braden got here. And so he was able to do it. There was no question where he lived. There was no question about his time, and he has some help here. Here you go.
Okay, so yeah, for those of you that don't know me, Travis Thrillkill, I come from the Williams side of the family. I actually got some family here. It was an honor to be a part of this council, but for me to do my job effectively and unbiasedly and not to create any conflict of interest, it was the best opportunity for me to step down. And I made that decision on my own. You know, they really wanted me to really think about it and stuff, and I appreciate that. But one thing with working with the state and working with all these state parks that I had to be a part of to rebuild, re-employ people back in and get them trained, is that when you have just an ounce of conflict of interest from superiors coming in, it creates some unnecessary animosity with staff, because they're like, well, now he's the boss and the boss. No, that's not what I want to create. We have some great staff that work for this tribe. My eyes are getting opened every day out here. And they've been so used to being neglected before, treated unfairly before, feeling like their voices can't be heard and they can't speak their opinions. That's not me. I want to hear it good or bad. If there's a problem with me, they now know that they have every opportunity, that if they have an issue with me, they can go above me. And I appreciate them, and I want them to feel comfortable doing that. That's been part of my successes with the state, is creating a good environment for the staff. A lot of people don't get paid well with the state, but what you can pay them with is respect and dignity. Being in here for just now a little over 60 days, I just came off my probation. There's been a lot of learning curves for myself. Tribal government does work a lot different than state government. Luckily, with me being on council, it was somewhat of an easy transition. The hardest transition for me is working directly with the staff, something the council doesn't have the opportunity to do. And that created a kind of a wall barrier, if you will, of understanding the difficulties that are happening for our day-to-day operations in the tribe. And so with me being here, knowing what the direction the council wants this tribe to go, but me also being empathetic for our employees, hopefully they understand they can come talk to me for about anything that they want to talk about, even if it's just ideas that has nothing to do with their department, but they see something they can help with. I want them to feel comfortable talking to me. They're learning as well, since I came from state parks, that my phone is on 24/7. I'm available 24/7. We actually just had an issue a little bit ago. We had an employee, or a possible future employee, kind of got her days mixed up, went back there and handled that. I'm a hands-on person. My door is always open at the tribe, always open unless I'm in a meeting, but it's always open. And I know that there's people here that can attest to that. I'm always available. With me being on council, I'm always able to help people, even in my new position, that come in through those doors up there. Your voices can be heard. You can come talk to me any time of day. I always let the receptionist know, whoever's working that day, where I'm going, where I'm at. Let them know that they got my cell phone number. That's the type of employee that I want to be for the tribe, is be available and help. And I believe we have a ton of employees in the tribe that want to do the same thing. So that's my little soapbox. Hopefully y'all take advantage of me being here. And I hope y'all know that y'all can come talk to me. I will say without a doubt that the council does not have one issue coming and talking to me. To Jennifer Reeder, now that she knows that I work there, she'll shoot me a text. What do you know about this program? What can they do to maybe qualify for it? And I can get them in the right direction. So they are utilizing me. They finally now have the funnel to be able to get things done efficiently. I'm also interimly just in the housing right now as a director. That's a big learning curve for me, but we have great staff. And I will say, I have never seen a department that works in a thankless job like the housing does. They have to deal with people that may be in hardship, and we have to be understanding that they may not have the best attitude because they are in hardship. They may not meet the qualifications that, unfortunately, at the moment, anyway, we have to follow through HUD. But they still wake up, they come to work, they process the applications. I'm working on getting them some trainings, taking hopefully one of them with me in the next couple of weeks. But Verna has been kind of our anchor there. We got 3 maintenance men that work there. We got Gerald Owens, Mason Minks, and Jimmy Dale. And then Brittany Hernandez is our A&O there. They're all wonderful people. I mean that. They are wonderful people, and they will listen to you, good or bad. But just like everyone, they also have good and bad days. So, there was a couple weeks ago when I was in there, and the entire day was just bad news, bad people, which we have to be understanding of that. People might lose their utilities. I mean, that creates a bad day. But we're trying. We're actively trying. With thanks to Zach Keelan and Baker Tilly, we're going to be bringing in a lot more to hopefully start getting out from underneath HUD. That's our ultimate goal, is to get out from these regulations, be able to create our own economic development to where you don't have to worry about, do you meet this dollar threshold through HUD to be able to get the help you need to get, okay? But if you ever have any issues, reach out. Baker Tilly is who is working with, and Zach Keelan, you might correct me if I'm wrong. Baker Tilly is working with housing and with Zach Keelan. You want to talk on that a little bit? I'll let him
It's
know.
they're an accounting firm, but they do a lot of consulting across Indian country, and they have a very good grants and compliance team. And so they have done everything from large scale, I mean, from housing to utility scale energy projects for tribes. They have a really robust tribal program. And so Baker Tilly has been helping. We have a master services agreement with them, and they've been helping identify a funding matrix for projects that the tribe wants to do and helping apply for that funding as well. Master services contract. Yeah. I think it's TILLY. You can Google them. Yeah. Yeah. Google will know. It'll help you out.
All right, thank you, Zach. All right, so like I said, I got to get out of here, unfortunately. One thing that I want to leave with here is that I had a career and a profession with state parks. I actually invested with state parks in the state of Oklahoma. I never would have thought in a million years that I'd have the confidence I have now to come work here. I really wouldn't. And I lived through it with my mom. I saw my mom come home stressed out with things that's going on, hoping for the best, but always expecting the worst. You know, my wife and I talked about it, prayed about it a lot here, but I just want you to know that's how much confidence I have in the vision and the direction that I believe the tribe is going in right now. I could have stayed with the state for 20 more years and retired, not have to worry about anything, but I truly believe in what we're doing here, otherwise I wouldn't have thrown that away. And I hope that y'all learn to know that you can come talk to us. You don't have to wait until always here to come express your concerns or you know, come and get on to us, if you will. Come up to talk. I'm there. If Bobby's not running around like crazy trying to bring in money for us, he's there. We have great people there. We also have the open council meetings. We give a lot of time for people to come to our council meetings. Don't be afraid to do that. Do it. So, twice a month, try to have it in the middle of the month and the end of the month. And hopefully soon, once we get everything kind of into a flow, because everything's happening so much, we're trying to make sure we make enough time. Hopefully we'll eventually start having those posted on the website. That's my hope. And I think that's the goal. So, there you go. So, just tell Gail to come to the next one. Oh, she's coming to the next one? Make sure we let her know. Next month around the 15th is, yeah, got Caddo conference. Caddo conference is next week. That's why we moved it up. I know it was kind of weird to see it and stuff, but we want to make sure we get there to represent our tribe too. We've been a long-standing partner with them for such a long time. And we want to make sure we show up, make sure that we're being heard. So I'm going to get ready to go. Lauren French here, she's been here helping all morning, her and her team. And I had the opportunity yesterday to go help them get dirt for their garden boxes back here. I'm not going to take that away. I'm going to let her talk about it. But you talk about the department that's got it rocking and rolling. Childcare does. What you got? Sorry. Normally they're between 5 and 6, but lately they've been starting at 5. Yes.
A couple of months ago, I asked you if I could get a tribal flag for us because Caddo tribe has more than several students to our school.
That's my fault. I'm gonna get you one. Okay. Now that I even know where to buy them, I didn't know for the longest time that we can get them from Tag. So now that I can get it from Tag, that's my fault though. That's not their fault. I'll get you one. Okay.
And I believe me, it's not gonna, Oh, well, I know we're ending the meeting here shortly. I just wanted some information, clarification in regards to the Constitution and the person that has been handling it. It said hopefully he'll show up soon. Who's hopefully he'll show up? Who is that person? Todd Goodman, okay. And I was wondering, is there a way, he's contracted out, correct? Is there a way, how much has he been paid? And if we've gotten what, we deserve for what we've paid out in the work related to, our Constitution. So that's number one. And I know you don't have to answer. I mean, you can answer it now if you want. And then the other question that I had, I pretty much just wanted to tell you guys that I want to thank you council members that did say that if, this space, was welcoming to everyone, good, bad, indifferent. And we definitely want to have this space for every tribal member's voice to be heard and respected. And I know that goes two ways. But definitely, it's important that we listen to each other. And I know that things are said online, but the most important thing that I personally can say, when information is posted online, I do my own investigations, I do my own research, and I will never put anything out there that I know is inappropriate or not true. So I think it's all of our responsibility. With you taking your information, you take the names, because we are the tribe and these decisions are being made on our behalf. And we need to do our due. It's no shade or disrespect, but we have to be accountable as well. And so I respect everyone here, and I want to be part of the solution, not the problem. And thank you guys for everything that you do. I know it's not an easy job by any means, but we also need to do our own research and be mindful, yes, of what we post. Thank you. I think that's 2 minutes.
Who had another question? Oh, Arnita? Who said Bobby? Oh. Huh? What's that? Yeah, we did an open session. I'm sorry. Let me get Arnita and then.
Thank you. My name's Arnita P. Woody, and I was just wondering, now that we have somebody in housing, and I know that HUD, we don't have to have a housing board, but it would probably be better if we did. The council seems to be really busy keeping everything together, and I just think that it would be easier for the council if you reinstated the housing.
Okay, all right, I'm going to answer these two questions best I can. Andrea, you had a question about the Constitution. We can't talk about employees or contractual agreements because it's the proprietary conflict. It's a legal thing. However, what we can say is we allocated $60,000 to provide for an individual to help put some thought in the Constitution and get that back to us, and he's working on getting that to us. And I just read earlier, if you didn't hear what I had to say, he had some family difficulties and he apologized, so he's trying to get what we need. Also, Arnita had a question about housing. If you look in the housing report, you'll also see that the Caddo Nation, in order to comply with HUD rules legally under federal regulations, does not require a housing board. We didn't know that. And what happens is it kind of muddied things up. However, as we straighten a lot of the stuff that we're need to do in housing, we want to build homes. We'd like to build 300 to 600 homes, right? New homes. It's going to take some time. There'll be people that understand housing. There'll be hopefully a contractor we can bring in that can help us straighten a lot of that up. So it's just going to be a matter of time. So what happened is when the Caddo Nation dissolved the housing authority in 1954, it was called, what's it called? No. It was in the United States government, in order to provide funding to tribe for housing, you had to establish a housing authority off of tribal land, off of the reservation. That's why it's in Gracemont. That's not trust land. That's not trust land. It's private property that they put that in. Well, when the HOSTA was passed, it was passed, the Native American Self-Determination and Housing Act was passed, I believe, in the 90s. The Caddo Nation at that time took back control of that housing program. So the council, under those regulations, under the regulations federally, it changed everything. So most all the tribes in the United States, all the housing and the board's responsibilities reverted back to the tribal government. Now we're trying to build structures like you're talking about so that we can move forward. So that's where we're at with that. Hold on just one moment here. Do we have anybody online that has a question? So someone, I'll let her read that. I think it's important.
Oh, you want me to read it? Okay. Okay, so does the tribal council have any concern with cashless tolls within Oklahoma for our tribal plates outside of our jurisdiction? And what are we doing to protect our people from litigation?
Okay, we'll answer that. Just hold.
Real quick, like I said earlier, I'm going to introduce Lauren. I told her I'd introduce her, and then she's got some stuff to talk about real quick before she starts finishing up getting y'all's food ready and her team. So Lauren, and don't forget your thingamajiggers to talk about. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Me and our team are really trying to learn how to service our communities better. A lot of people just look at childcare and they just think that we just work with children, which is kind of what we do. But the point of our programming and really kind of the direction that we take with our federal dollars is how do we create environments that benefit our children? So what does the environment look like when they go to a childcare facility? What does that environment look like in trying to advocate for our school-age children in their school districts? And what does that look like when they go home during the summertime and out of school and even after childcare? So what components will help benefit that child? So what we have and what we've been kind of really trying to do this past year is looking at those different components and those different spaces that children kind of operate in and really kind of approaching our programming in a very holistic way. So not just looking at the child in their child care facility, but looking at their community, looking at their family, and looking at their school systems and how do we empower those places so they can better benefit our children that are operating in them and learning in them and living in them and growing in them. So this is one of our efforts that we've been kind of doing. It is called a parent survey, but what it is we're wanting to kind of gauge when children are going home, what does that home look like and how do we educate those spaces that those children operate in. So even if you don't have a child, what this helps us kind of go after different initiatives for children. So one of our things, it's right now we're calling it the Babysitters Club, but we do not like that name. I'm a 90s baby, so I grew up with the Babysitters Club, and I was the oldest of 8 in my home. I'm the second oldest of 13 kids.
The first time my youngest brother was about 16, he had a lot of seizures when he was born. So his second set of seizures he had with me at home by myself, and I had no idea what to do. By law, I was 16 years old, so I could stay at home and watch him. But I had no idea what to do. A lot of our children during the summertime, they stay at home with grandparents that also have issues with diabetes, have issues with heart, and a whole bunch of stuff. So what we're kind of doing, and we have one coming up here pretty soon, it's kind of like our guinea pig trial. We're trying to equip, we can go as young as 8 years old in offering first aid and CPR to children starting at the ages of 8. I know children sit at home sometimes when mom and dad and grandma and grandpa have to run to the store, or they sit with grandma and grandpa. We're trying to equip those children that they're also aware of what low blood sugar looks like with their grandparents. They kind of understand what seizures look like, first aid CPR, if they're out with a group of kids and their cousins and they're running around in woods and they're hanging out is what they should be doing. They know what to do with a snake bite. They know what to do with bug bites. They know what kind of plants are out there. And that's kind of my second segue. So this is something that's just kind of giving us an idea of what kind of home environments outside of school, because when our children are in those spaces, they're around certified people across the board. Every school system, it's mandated to do first aid CPR. It's mandated to know kind of what's going on. So when they're going home, we're trying to beef up those spaces that they're kind of in, and even providing them opportunity, starting at the ages of 8, to be first aid and CPR certified. So they can help their younger ones, but then they can also be aware of grandparents. And I'm speaking, I'm from here. My grandmother, I started giving insulin shots when I was about 9 years old, and I knew how to give insulin shots. I knew what low blood sugar looked like. So we're trying to equip them and kind of come up with a better term too. So if you have any names besides Babysitters Club, that would be fantastic. But that's kind of what this survey is. We just kind of want to know about some of the kids that you know. So this could be grandkids or anything like that. Or even kind of reflecting back on your own. So everybody can fill this out, even if you're not just a parent. So please just take some time. And we partnered with some of our program, well, Caddo Nation, with George's. So it's part of like the survey. If you do the survey, then you get a $10 off for George's. So you can take that down into town and you'll get $10 off. And then there's also down at the C store, you get a free 32-ounce drink with kind of partaking in our survey. So we have a couple of extras. If you know some of like your families that can kind of take them, please. We're just really trying to get the data so we can kind of go after more centralized funding that would help out with those informations. Real quick, oh, go ahead.
About our childcare, the program, the workers. I'm very prejudiced, but in a good way. I see it, you know, actions speak louder than words, right? And I see it. So I just want to tell you guys that I was amazed at the things we have.
Well, thank you. We have a very wonderful growing team that we have a lot of, they try to kind of place themselves too. We really look at it from our points of views, things that we wanted and we needed in environments and spaces. A lot of how we kind of operate our program is through that. What are greater things that we wished we would have had? We have these conversations a lot, huh, Michael? Michael's one of our guys. There's some people here that come and they're members of, they're community Caddo members. And when I say community Caddo members, they listen to you guys. They hear, they see things on Facebook, they hear concerns, and they bring them back to us and say, how can we fix this or how can we address this? That was one of the things Lena was very specific about when we were trying to do something, and our resource of trying to kind of honor our kindergarten graduates and then trying to go and find additional funding for people that are outside of Oklahoma for that. So we try, but we also kind of need the data to go out. So it's not just us trying to fundraise or us kind of just trying to figure it out. So if we have the data, then we can go after more very focused activities. With that. That was usually hosted by Gracemont in their Head Start program. We're trying to get back into that. We don't have one, but we keep talking about that, which is gonna kind of segue. I'm trying to go really fast. I love to talk and I love the program and I'm super excited about all the different things that we're doing from local levels to advocating and making policy changes on a national level. And when I tell you, when our program walks into rooms on a national level, like we did last week, there's people that come up to us specifically asking for us. We're hosting part of a webinar next month nationally about some of the efforts that we're doing. We're going after things that nobody has done in the United States with their tribal funding. And we're having OCC rethink how they're addressing childcare, tribal childcare, because of voices that we have within our community and partnerships that we're doing. So even on small levels to advocacy national levels, like we're really trying to put ourselves in places to better for all of our children. So on a local one, for something that we're doing with our children is our Hasine Scouts, and we meet on Tuesdays, as we're moving over to Tuesdays. We are doing community gardens. I heard a lot about the planning and everything, which is at Hinton, our childcare. We're really hoping to kind of move towards food sovereignty. It's one of our big efforts that we have within our programming. And part of that is creating gardeners. So not to just have a garden, but to create children that are very aware of gardening and aware of like stewardship of the land around them. So we are having a large community garden planting day on May 5th, or 4th, my bad, on May 4th. We do have Miss River. We were working on those garden beds yesterday. So they're up here. We're gonna have like 3 different gardens. We'll have a sister's garden in one area. We'll have another one that's kind of more an elder's garden, and then we have our community garden that's kind of back here. So you're more than welcome to go out there. We'll have a couple of different planting options this month, but our big one will be on May 4th. May 5th, my bad, wait. May 4th, sorry. May the 4th be with you. No. There you go. Yeah. May 4th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have an amazing team. A lot of them are kind of here today. If you want to just chit chat with them about some of the projects that we're doing, or you're curious, we try to work with all age groups. So we have something for all of y'all here if y'all want to plug in anywhere. And then I'm going to hand it off because I can talk for a long time.
Well, you're good for that because you bring money into, so it's all good. Okay, hold on. We got. All right. Hold on. Gail wants to say something.
I have a question for you, love. I've heard some, as usual, rumor. Yes. And you can just tell me yes or no. Yes. We've heard that the CHR program was going to be displaced for the summer. Yep. And house the child care program. Yep. Is that correct?
So yes, I can give more. Do you want more than a yes, or I can chit chat with you after? It's not how you're practicing it. Yeah, there you go.
Also, we've heard also that the children from Anadarko are going to be bused from Anadarko to Hinton. Is that true? They're going to, I guess, for the program after the summertime, our children were going to be bused from, our little ones are going to be bused from Anadarko to Hinton. Is that correct?
For the childcare facility? For the new one, that'll be in
Yes.
So we change what that looks like every year. Yeah, I will. So every year trying to say this real quickly, we cater to our parents. So if our parents would need that, and that was a need that our parents expressed, then it would be a need that we would do, or we would figure that out. We're talking about transporting from Anadarko to Hen. Now, that would also be like age specific. That's about a 40-minute drive from about Anadarko to Hen, right? I don't feel comfortable with a 2-year-old hopping on a bus driving 40 minutes, but we work with programs that are in Anadarko, and then we try to find placement for them. So it's also whether or not it's age or developmental appropriate, or if that is a need that the family would want or have. So on transporting children. Mm-hmm.
What's that? I have no, has anyone seen the other mic? Yep, okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll take it. So one of the things that was just said, I know the people online cannot hear that. Gail Codesy had mentioned the safety of children and busing them from Anadarko to Hinton. We have federal highway money for safe roads related to school bus routes. There's a safe. Right, I understand that. That grant allows us to put in place what you're talking about to keep the kids safe. We're no way we're going to put kids in jeopardy in any way. So anyway, we're gonna move on, but I want to mention something that Gail had just mentioned, not just about busing kids. There's going to be probably meetings related to parents down the road about stuff like that. And if any of the tribal members, grandparents want to show up at those open meetings to talk about, you know, what they're doing, they're welcome to do so. And please visit with Lauren. Also, you mentioned CHR. Now you remember last month and over the months, maybe you wasn't here, maybe you haven't. The Caddo Nation has their own community health center in Anadarko. It is the old ODOT building on Main Street. CHR, diabetes program, community health program, registered nurse. Eventually we're gonna have eye optical. Lindsay Marble, who's a doctor, medical doctor, who's enrolled Caddo. Hopefully she's working on a plan where we can provide eye treatment, eye exams, and bill the government to get reimbursed for that stuff. So please visit the Community Health Center. We haven't had the grand opening or put the sign up, but anything related to podiatry, travel, CHR, community health, RN, anything medically, that's a one-stop shop. One-stop shop because there's over 400 people that live in Anadarko. The building that where the elders live, that building was built with a community block grant to serve the community of people that live in Anadarko. That's why it was built. There's actually a monument that says community building, Anadarko community building. That was freed up. So any elder that wants to use it, any tribal member that wants to use it, maybe you're gonna have an event, maybe you wanna have a birthday party, maybe you wanna have bingo, maybe the elders wanna get together and hang out, that's what that building is intended for. So you have a building that's yours, and we have a new community health building. So everybody's gonna be down there. So just so that everybody knows. All right, and I think that with that said, Lauren's only gonna be using, no, I did not. I said that if you want to, it's related to healthcare as an elder, you have a full-fledged healthcare center on Broadway. That's where CHRs are at now. We have a new building that houses podiatry, community health reps. That's the ODOT building, right? We just haven't had the grand opening yet. Yeah. Okay, so if everybody knows, we have a new building in Anadarko where the CHR is going to be, that's where they're moving, that's where transportation's at. It's a new building, very, very nice. Please visit there. I don't know if you made it there. It's a one-stop shop for healthcare issues that you might have. Okay, well, one or two more questions.
Okay, so back to the original question was, does tribal council have any concerns with cashless tolls within Oklahoma for our tribal plates outside of jurisdiction? And what are we doing to protect our people from litigation?
So with that said, we're going to stand by the House bill that was passed by the legislation in the state of Oklahoma, I believe in the 1990s, that Oklahoma is recognized as Indian country. We are sovereign. We are a sovereign nation. We're not going to let anybody bully us around, not one other tribe, or not the governor or anyone else. Now, we can beat each other up, but we'll gang up on someone if they try that, right? So I'm going to be meeting with the governor about the very concerns that he has about the tag issues in Oklahoma on Tuesday in his office. Rest assured that the law is very clear in the state of Oklahoma, and the legislators are behind it, and the tribes are behind it. Legislation has to change that bill before they don't recognize our tags. Okay? If you don't have that in writing, you can be provided that in writing to you with that legislation, and it has all the information on it, and keep it in your car or your vehicle. Tag office does provide that to all our members, as well as they have been meeting with the Turnpike Authority, and they've been meeting with other tribes and going to a lot of the meetings and keeping track of what's going on here in the state. So we cannot help it if the state of Oklahoma changed their toll process and put up cameras. And there's a big issue about sharing personal information related to you as a member, related to your personal information. It's a sovereignty thing. So they're trying to pass a Hail Mary in the state legislation to cough up personal information. So we're working that out to where we're going to safeguard the members' information. And we're going to do everything we can to do it legally to where just because you want our information, we don't have to give it. Our job is to protect your information, protect this tribe. You bet, you bet. They'll email it to you. And so, you know, if you get stopped on a highway and get a ticket or something goes on, please bring it to us because we need to know. Because you cannot be pulled over for having a tag in the state of Oklahoma outside our tribal jurisdiction.
I just had a couple of questions before we close out the meeting. We have all these programs, but what are we doing with drug and alcohol programs? I was told that we pulled out of CASA and Anadarko, that the Caddos pulled out. I don't know if that's true, but where do we go? Where does Caddos go for any legalities, for legal help, for drug and alcohol programs, preventions, rehabs, rehabilitations? And also, what about the veteran programs? Veteran programs can help with transportation, can help with our elderly, can help with our kids too. But who are we to speak with about the veteran program?
So I don't know different person, but we still sit on CASA, we still sit on the board. Need any kind of
Hold on, you're breaking out, breaking out. I think the battery might be going back.
if you need any help through substance abuse, or if you get in trouble, like you go to jail because you're DUI or whatever, you can go through the CASA program. Caddo Nation sits on that board. We help with rehab, we help with sober living, we help with AA or any kind of meetings, counseling.
Well, I'll just use myself for example. I have all these fees. I'm on probation, I got everything taken care of, but I got all these fees.
Okay, well, the fees part, like, you're talking about like court costs?
Yeah,
Or,
and well, what they're doing is I've been paying for these fees for so long. My last charge was 10 years ago. I'm still paying on these fees.
right, okay.
And I'm trying to get them waived, and I have, you know, the veterans, I got a veteran affidavit to have them help me waive all my fines and my fees.
Okay.
That's all I'm sitting on. But now they're turning me, since it's been so long, they're turning my misdemeanors into felonies. Because I haven't paid them my allotted amount of time.
Okay, so.
And I'm on a single parent, limited.
Right, I understand that, but, so we don't help with legal fees.
Well, I'm not talking about legal, I'm talking about legality, a lawyer we can talk to, somebody that can advise us, give us guidance, you know? We have nobody to talk to.
Well, or even, or maybe the Oklahoma Oils, maybe, they might be able to help you. I know at one time they were doing like, free applications to expunge.
I make too much money. I'm on
Oh, I see.
disability income, I'm on a limited income, but I make too much money for oil. I make too much money for legal pro bono. To speak with anybody, I have to pay out of pocket. So what gets me is like, why can, you know, how can we get help? I mean, I don't wanna call nobody out, but there's, I have nobody to help me, you know, with this. I go to the VA, the liaisons, justice outreach programs.
Right.
They tell me to get tribe. My tribe doesn't have nothing. I go to file my own affidavits to do it myself.
Right. I don't know, I mean, we all fall under rules and regulations and income. So I don't know. Because you make too much.
Okay, so here's what's going on, because we're having difficulties with the line. Can anybody hear it now? Probably the battery, I have no idea. Just leave this one over here. So Michaela had brought up, you know, being helped and what we're doing with alcohol and drug and rehab. The Caddo Nation is a part of the consortium against substance abuse program. We were not a part of that when I came on board. We are today. And the biggest chunk of the money does come from the Caddo Nation, and I chaired that board, and she's on the board now. If you have any difficulties related to rehab, you can talk to her. As far as paying an individual's bills, we just don't have a program for that, but like oils or some of these free consultations with lawyers, they might can help you, but you know, unless you probably offset your income or save some money to pay that, you know, it's kind of like your own individual thing, but if we had the dollars to help find some resources, we would do that. But I'm gonna give you the microphone.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, it's turning my misdemeanors, my old charges. I have misdemeanor cases. Well, they're now turning into felonies because I've been paying for this for so long. I've been going through it for so long. So now I'm, you know, whenever I go to apply for housing, they're gonna look at my background and my history, and then now I'm gonna have a felony on my record. And I didn't even never plead out to a felony, but it's taken me so long to pay for these fines and these fees and all this. I might as well be a felon and just forget about it, you know? I mean, I don't know, it's just how I feel, but. And then the veteran programs though, the veteran programs, I have talked to the Kiowas in helping us set up something. But WCD, you know, we're on this side of the river, Wichita, Caddo, Clovers. What kind of veteran programs do we have? What can we set up? I spoke with veterans, but we don't know what to do, where to turn to. I've asked for help with the Kiowas. The Kiowas said they'll come and they'll help us. But I just never heard it. I don't know how to get that started for us. So.
Maybe we could talk to Ron Sevilla. He's a veteran. You're a veteran. You're a veteran, so maybe you can help us with our veterans program. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you about that and these individuals here. And I appreciate, your words and, hopefully you can figure out, your own finances and take care of your situation you're in. Okay, so where are we at? Is anybody else online? I think we're getting close to noon meal. It's past it. Yeah. Hold on, Eric. We got one more. We're gonna take two more questions, one from Francis and one from Eric. Okay.
I don't know what it is with Caddos and microphones. Give us a microphone and we go crazy. What I wanted to do today is, and this is kind of a selfish thing, but it kind of dovetails with what Lauren was talking about, our children, our babies. What I want to do is I want to move that Shirley Gouge be reinstated as a Caddo tribal member. Now, all of this happened after I got off the council, so I don't know all of this. But I do know that the service that Shirley provided to our little ones with that summer camp was unbelievable. She asked Gail and me to help her, and we did. And that was one of the most rewarding experiences I have ever had. Those little ones are just, and they're not little, some of them are like, what, 12, 13? Oh, Bobby just told me that a lot of the kids are here right now. I said, I moved that Shirley.
Right. Well, so let's pause for just a moment, okay? I just talked to Shirley, and this is where we're at. We have been provided all the documents from enrollment, the history related to Shirley being on the count, being enrolled cattle, and she was enrolled with the Comanches. We have got the paperwork related to the Comanche Nation and the Caddos. We're trying to piece back a couple of other pieces. It's a legal thing related to our Constitution. If you've ever received any money, any help from another tribe, you cannot be enrolled in our tribe. However, Shirley was enrolled in the tribe. The Comanches released her. You cannot go without a tribe here in the state of Oklahoma if you're Native American. I just talked to Shirley just now, and she's here. We're going to review everything that was handed to us by enrollment the day before yesterday. And I'm glad Gail and Francis are here to bring this up. And I just talked to Shirley, and she knows that after our review, either based on that review, enrollment board will make the decision to enroll Shirley or bring it to the next membership after we're done legally with it to vote at the next meeting to add Shirley back as a member of the tribe.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
So after the membership votes, does the council pass a resolution? Because I don't want it to get lost. Over the years can go by. It happens all the time, and people are like, well, there was a vote taken, by the past council, and we can't find it. Do we memorialize it in a resolution if it passed through membership?
You can memorialize it by the members after our review, once you approve it, after our review.
Does the council, in our council meeting, pass the resolution?
Well, here's how we're going to do it.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Right, after the membership, after our review legally, right? Shirley knows that. It's coming back to the members. If the enrollment board doesn't accept her or whatever, however it rolls out, at that time, once the enrollment board, if you guys accept her, we're done. If it comes to the membership, and the membership, we have to bring it here and they vote on it, Shirley, here's what's going to happen. It's going to be on the agenda at the next membership meeting. It has to be on the agenda listed. And then once they vote and they say yes, We're gonna take those minutes to the agency and capture that in our minutes and put it on file at the agency at the superintendent's office. So let everyone know, and you'll have a copy, and the tribe will have a copy. That's how that will work. Okay. All right, we have one more question over here with Eric. Our food is getting cold. Okay, go ahead. One online, and we'll get to Eric.
Okay, let me find it again. It has to do with, well, so it's about, the constitutional reform. One is, I kind of explained it already in the chat. It was about, what does it mean for the dollars we've already paid the contractor? Will he be held accountable to repay those dues? I did answer that he has been doing consistent work for us. The only part that we're at now is he has not delivered his final report due to family issues, and we're expecting that pretty soon. So I don't think we have a problem on the money part because he has been working the whole time and collecting data. And the other part is the tribe. Since his contract ended in February, how is the project going to continue?
So once Mr. Goodman provides us his report, we're going back into the community to share that report with you. Bangor, Anadarko, Fort Cobb, Oklahoma City, and then you can weigh in on it again. Until the whole tribe, I know we're not going to agree on everything until we have something comfortable that we can live with as a community, then eventually at some point go for a vote. Yeah, and we're going to put it out for everybody to look at across the United States, not just one person, not just one family, all of us. So that's what we're going to do. Eric, I know you've been waiting. All right, Mr. Eric.
I've been asking for almost a year now to put our school on the Caddo webpage because our school that I'm the tribal liaison, and plus I'm the director of outreach for our school, and plus I'm the CDL instructor. You know, I've been asking for a year for y'all to put us on y'all's webpage. I have 4 caddos that want to come to school, and they said, well, we didn't hear about it. We didn't see it on the Caddo webpage. So like I said, I've been asking for a year. You said that you were going to put that on there. Then I asked again during another membership meeting, and you said, yeah. And, you know, I gotta say, our school is a small school. Without the Caddos sending us 15 people, the school has been built by the Caddos. So I want our school to be on y'all's webpage because our school, Caddo Nation, funds our school for the 15 Caddos that came to our school. That's the money that came from y'all's education department. I want our school to be recognized by the tribe because, again, if it wasn't for y'all's money, our new building wouldn't be there. Andrea's son went to our school, am I correct? Like I said, there's plenty. I gave y'all a list of caddos that we have coming to our school, and they all have been successful. They all have good jobs. I know there's some of them are listening on the internet, and some of them guys are freshly out of high school since as of last May. And I can speak of one of them. He's gonna get ready to turn 19 in June, and he makes, you know, he makes over $95,000 a year working for Waste Management. Now, anybody who's coming out of high school making $95,000 a year, because come his June, That's pretty good money. And, you know, I'm just tired of asking, saying, hey, when can y'all put us on y'all's website? Hey, you need to talk to this person, you need to email this person. I email, I send pictures, you know. I just want the Caddo Nation to be on our school, be recognized on y'all's webpage and on our webpage, and you know, still not nothing. Travis Stoke here, I asked him a couple of months ago for the Caddo Nation flag because we're getting ready to do a grand opening of the new building. I want the Caddo flag being present there because there's 5 tribes out of Oklahoma have put money into that school. And them are the five tribes that were, I'm going around to the different tribes getting their flag because I want their flag to be present. I'm not saying the other 34 recognized tribes here in Oklahoma don't deserve it, but I want them 5 tribes, which Caddo Nation is one of them, help support at our school, and they're being exempted. Like I said, you can ask Andrew that her son's doing quite well with his job, with his CDL. Yeah, he works for Coca-Cola, so you know, I'm, like I said, I want that to be, so I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus or anything, I'm just wanting it to be out there.
Thank you, Eric. So with that said, before we conclude for the day, I just want to mention that, you know, the tribe went after job training and placement dollars, and it's in your newsletter, to actually help fund and help people go get back in the job marketplace and training them. And we have a lot of individuals interested in the truck driving program. He did have a website. He actually had worked for a different school or company. We had that on there at one time. He changed ships. So what we need from you is a letter from the company that allows us to put their website, a link to our website, and then just get that back from them. We'll have to visit with them because we have to make sure that's legal. And then the other thing that we have to make sure is that we do it right? There may be, you know, a way that we can make that happen. But at the same time, there has to be an appropriate process. So anyone that has a link or would like to participate with us and put it on our website or Facebook, we do have people to handle that, and we can guide you to them. So that's where we're at.
About 15 years ago, but this picture just brings tears.
What? Okay, hold on for a second. Let me get this back together. All right, one more time. After Gail gets through, we're going to say a prayer.
Well, I just said that this picture is of Warren Ralph Weller. He grew up to be a national fancy war dance champion. And he had the best footwork you ever saw in your life. And he was smooth. Oh, you know, some of the fancy dancers are jerky. You know, when he was smooth. Oh, and he was beautiful. And he was a full-blood cat. And I just wanted you to know, when you see this picture, who it is, because I am very proud of Warnie. And well, to be honest, he was pretty proud of himself too. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Gail. I really appreciate that. Okay, so with that said, again, I want to thank everyone for being here. And Gail had mentioned earlier, Shirley, you're automatically going to be on the next agenda. That's what's going to happen. So thank you for being here. So at this moment, let me look around here. Oh, I got one more thing to say. Let me go grab something. And then we're going to say a little prayer that we're going to eat for this food and eat with each other for a second. All right. I have something that somebody wanted me to mention. If I say it wrong, you have to correct me. How do you say her first name? Eliana Barrago? Borrego. Eliana Borrego is the granddaughter of Andrea Longoria, and we all want to give this young lady a round of applause because she is going to Gracemont, and she is in 8th grade, and she is the valedictorian for the 8th grade class. Enroll, Caddo, and thank you and congratulations if you're listening to us. Okay, Shirley? Yep. Okay, Shirley is making sure that I'm on track. Okay, all right. So we appreciate Shirley being here. Thank everyone for being here. Council, if you could give the membership a round of applause for showing up. If you guys could pray with me, pray however you would like in your own mind. And tonight we're going to have a prayer service for Zachary Keelan, his granddaughter. Daughter, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make you an old man, and you're not even a grandfather yet. His baby, we had a Native American church meeting for his baby 13 years ago, and she has an Indian name. Her name is Sweet Dinati. Now we're going to recognize her as becoming a young lady. After this meeting tonight in the morning, she'll be known as Sweet Sparrowhawk. Sparrowhawk girl is her Indian name. Sweet Dinati, little Sparrowhawk girl. Now we're going to knock the TT off the end. She's becoming of age, and you're welcome to join us. Come sit up with us. We're going to pray for the rest of our tribe as well. And we're going to come out tomorrow and eat at noon. So, just rest assured that we're going to think about all of us. We all have ailments and going through things in our life, and we'll pray for one another. So, I'm going to pray for this food, and we're going to go ahead and eat. And I've got my daughters here, my mother is here. With all due respect, I'm going to face east, and we have this water here, and I'm going to say a prayer, and I'm glad they're here as well. And want you guys take care of yourselves. So I'm going to take care of this food. Just bear with me. Hoi, kunak ai, kadi hai me hahayo, ka otsi hahayo, dakatong kayo hana hasime hahayo, witu suka sia hahayo. The way the sun is up, Almighty God, over here. Look at me, Almighty God. Ka otsi dakateva dakatong kayo hana hahayo, koralis papanabis konahati hahayo, hahayo sa himuha. Nuka hahayo. Bana. I want you to look at me today, bless this food, and bless this water. Take care of our old people that are still left. Look at our elders today. Take care of this food. Take care of everybody's prayers, their mind, their spirit, their heart. I want you to look at all our people here, including my own family. And you must bless us in a good way that you only know how. giving you all the glory and all the praise for your Son, Jesus Christ, that this day is possible, and understanding that you're the ruler and the King of all kings. We put all our faith and all our hope and all our humility in you, in this water and food to make our bodies well and nourishing our day. Take care of our grounds, take care of our people, take care of our neighborhood church ground, take care of our dances, our songs, and the people that hold our songs and that hold our history. Take care of our elders in here today. Look down upon Gail. Look down upon her sister Frances. The mother is good to me, good to all of us. And get on to us when we need to be getting on to. The way that they talk to us, I appreciate them being here because we need that sometimes. My mother too, thank her for being here. Ron, Sabia, the Sabia family, and Shirley, and all our families, and Arnita, our elders here in the tribal council. God, I look at my son too this morning. Today, take care of him, be with us, everything will be all right for all of us. All those ones that are incarcerated, all those ones that are in turmoil, all those ones that have addiction, all those ones that have nowhere to go, God, we know that you're alive and well, and we know that you're the one and you can take care of it. We put all our faith in you, and if we left anything out, done anything wrong, we ask that you take care of it for us, and you bless us and watch over us and pity us where we're at in our life and our prayer. I don't know how to come to you. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know how to say it. Take care of our families, mine included, my children's mother, all our mothers today. Our mother, my mother, just look at her, my God. Look at all our ladies today that bring life into this world and this water. Take care of them and be with them so that we can go on life in a good way. If I said anything wrong, happy Mother's Day today. God, Father, just take care of it as those mothers enjoy their Mother's Day coming along. And I ask that you look down upon our children, look down upon our lives. Again, thank you for this day, and thank you for our tribe. Thank you for allowing us to be strong people, to have an opinion, to have grace, and have understanding. And thank you for allowing us to be here. To your Son, I pray. If I left anything out, I ask you to forgive me. Amen. Okay, I think we're okay. You know what? Now that we got this prayer in here, somebody has to make a motion to adjourn, and then someone has to second it. Then we can eat. Got the prayer in here now. Okay, who made the motion? Andrea made the motion to adjourn, seconded by Arnita Wardy. All in favor, say aye. Hands up, and even in the chat. Okay, all right, are we adjourned? We have 22. Anyone abstain? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you very much for coming. Enjoy your day, have some water. Our elders, maybe some of our lady folks can help you, or our men folk. Thank you.